Hey guys, it's OdaibaDiver here. So my should you pull Amnelis video is going to need a little bit more time in the oven, but here's the long and short of it for those of you guys who want to decide whether or not you should pull today. So Amnelis is the second strongest water unit in the game, even in War Division's JP, and if you want to make a meta water team, then you definitely want to have Perrine and Amnelis on the same team. Now with that said, water unfortunately has been not in quite a good place. They are considered low tier. Within the past month, water teams are barely played at all in guild battle, and even in the last few months, at most, water can get to mid tier because it's really only good for countering fire and fire evade teams. But outside of that, water teams have just been in a really bad place. So get Amnelis, pull for Amnelis only if you wish to play water meta teams. So that's the advice I can give you for now. For this video though, we will instead be talking about the new UI upgrades that are now in War Division's JP. So I'm gonna run through the list here, and then later on we'll go into the actual example to show you. They've made a couple of changes. The first thing is that for Dream Upgrade and Reincarnation, you can now use a one-click function to level up all the way to level 140. Or if you want to get the 3 yellow stars before reincarnation, there's a button now to do that as well. So that's what all of this is for. But the more important thing that's going to concern everyone, including global players, is the changes they made to the UI for vision cards. So straight away, when you select a vision card, or when you're looking at a vision card, it will now have an indicator that shows you what weapons the weapon limited vision card will affect. And then even more major change over here on the formation screen, there is now a button for you to change the regular vision card display into this abomination you see over here. I don't think you guys can see it very clearly, so I'll show you guys inside the actual screen in just a bit. But basically, when you tap on this button, it changes to a display that shows you exactly what vision card's limited party abilities will apply to that unit. So that's really helpful. Now on top of that, they've also introduced advanced filtering options, and these options apply to units, vision cards, weapons, Espers, as well as the generic Mind Spear exchange plays. So with units, you are now able to filter down by attack type, by main job, sub job, as well as vision card limited bestowed effect conditions. And then for vision card, you have a bunch of filters now that include limited party ability as well as limited bestowed effect, or rather limited bestowed ability. And then for weapons, you can filter by the type of weapon or the type of defense equipment. For Espers, you can filter by the kind of ability nodes they have on their boards. And then finally, for the generic Mind Spear thing, you can filter the units by rarity and element. So I just said a bunch of words. I know that it's really hard to take all that in, so I'm gonna show you guys what all that means in just a bit. Finally, before we go into the demonstration, they did list 2 other changes that we can't actually see in the game right now. And the first thing is that for the Trials of Reckoning boss fights, they will now be compatible with background repeat, starting with the next Trials of Reckoning beginning sometime after March. So that's something that a lot of players are happy to hear about. And then the other thing has to do with the guild PvE game mode, the Castle Siege game mode. Starting from the next round, they will make it such that when this mode is happening, you will still be able to do your mock battles for guild battle, even though there is no guild battle on the dates that the Castle Siege mode takes place. Alright, so that's the end of all the wordy talk. Let's head into some examples. Since I clicked on the equipment tab accidentally, I'm just going to show you guys real quick what the filtering looks like for weapons and equipment. Basically, they've added this thing over here, these things over here. So first, you can filter a weapon by the type of weapon. So like for example, if I pick glove, and then you only see all gloves, and then if I go back to filter, disable all filters, you can also filter by defense equipment. So these are all caps here. This is gonna make it so much easier to select exactly the equipment you need, and you can also filter by the type of equipment. So here is Vital, Assault, Magic, Aim, Dodge, Critical, Shield, and Barrier. So like for example, if you're looking for Evade gear, all you have to do is pick the Dodge option, and every single piece of gear that has a dodge type that you have made will show up over here. So this is really helpful, and I think the rest of these things over here are the same as before. This is attack type, attack resistance, attack type resistance, element type resistance, and I think the rest are the same as in the global version. So it's only the part over here that's been newly added. Let's go over to the vision card. Actually, we're going to go over to the formation screen because it's much easier to see that way. So as an example, let's say I go into a story mission and I pick a random companion character to put in so that we have 6 characters. You'll see now that so they added this button over here, and when I click on this button, they're going to change the vision card. What is this called? The vision card indicator to this grid over here, which shows you exactly which cards will affect the character over here. Now, do you know that whatever shows up here only applies to vision cards that give party effects? So for example, I think a generic card over here. For example, on this slot, I have Ramuh over here. Now, Ramuh gives a generic ability of magic up 50%, as well as a lightning party limited ability, right? So because the generic part is for everyone, when you click on this button, it actually shows you, it actually doesn't show that Ramuh's generic ability affects everybody. You kind of have to know that on your own. Instead, what this indicator shows is whether or not a card's limited party ability will apply to the unit. And as you can see here, each slot over here, each tiny slot here corresponds to a slot on one of the characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for example, I have Ramuh on Leader the Bold, and so that's why everybody's first slot is supposed to be Ramuh, but he doesn't show up in this indicator because he doesn't give a dark limited effect. But if I change this to let's say, there we go, Dark Fina's card, then you'll see in this indicator here, it will show up again to indicate that Dark Fina's vision card affects all of these characters except for Valentine Miranda here, who is a light unit. So this is an easy way to tell which of the cards you've equipped, which of the vision cards you've equipped in the main and sub slots have limited party effects that affect the character, and you can use this to quickly tell if you should try and change something, or if you should try and if something is out of place. This is an easy way to tell. Now, the other thing they've added, of course, is when you select a vision card. Let me just test this. So basically, even though it shows up in a grid like this, regardless of where you click over here, it will take you to the vision card selection screen for that slot. So we have it as Dark Fina's vision card. So the other thing that they've changed here is the filtering options and the display options. Let me just remove the filtering real quick. Now, if it's a job-based vision card, it will now show you exactly what weapons it's limited to. So if you click on the magnifier, once again, you do get all the jobs listed, but if you want an easy way to tell if the card over here in the vision card selection screen will actually affect the units you have, you can just read the part over here which lists all the weapon types that this ability, this limited party ability affects. So this is going to be really helpful for when you know exactly what weapons are on your units, and you can, quickly pick what you want here. But what if you don't actually remember the weapon your unit has equipped? What you can do then is go into filtering options, and as you can see here, you can now filter by the element in the party. So like for example, for Dark, I had this on earlier. You can see everything here is going to be a vision card that has a limited party effect that is applicable to Dark units, including Dark Bahamut, right? And if you want to make it so that it shows you all the cards that affect the your units via the weapon limitation, then all you have to do is come over here. Unfortunately, they've made it such that you can't actually pick a certain weapon to limit it to, but what you can do is, if you know the main job of your unit, you can come over here and select the unit that the main job that you have for that unit. So for example, for Sephiroth, it's going to be hero. It's going to be a little bit difficult to find, but let's see if we can find it here. This is actually kind of... oh, there we go. This is it. So I think this is listed by the order of release. So Sephiroth is over here, and I believe it's Amnelis. This is Jiffy, and this is Riesel, and so on and so forth. This is, what's her name now? Winter Reviers. And then over here, this one is Valentine Miranda. So they basically list all the main jobs by the order of release, and what you have to do is find the job that corresponds to the character you want to find vision cards for. And once you have that in, it will show you all of the job-based vision cards that will apply to Sephiroth or whichever unit you are going to filter for. And unfortunately, you cannot limit it to... so basically, you have to go and do this one by one, right? So like, for example, if I want to know what are the, what do you call it? The vision cards that will affect Ruined Knight, I would first have to come to Ruined Knight, check his main job description, this thing here, and then go into a vision card selection screen, go into filtering, and look for his main job. And that will actually give us all the vision cards that he can equip that will actually have an effect on him. Now, unfortunately, as you can see here, it's kind of nuts. You have to look through a bunch of jobs to try and pinpoint the exact one corresponding to the unit you want to look for. So it's kind of crazy if you think about it. I'm having a really difficult time finding the exact job for Ruined Sterne. I think I missed it because he's one of the earlier units in the game, right? So his should be somewhere around here. This is Gilgamesh. Was Ruined Sterne released before or after Gilgamesh? I have absolutely no idea. So here, this is Garvel, so I think I missed him already. You go back to the top and just keep your eyes open. Let's see. Wait a minute, why can't I find Ruined Sterne? Oh, there we go. Wait a minute, isn't this job different? In any case, once you find the main job for your character, then, you know, once again, you come to this screen, you can see exactly what vision cards this guy can equip that will benefit him. Wait a minute, did they screw up? The description of the job is completely different. I think they screwed up. So as you can see here, we can see that this vision card clearly affects Ruined Sterne and only Ruined Sterne. But his main job is this thing here, right? Blood-soaked Knight or something like that. And then if you go to the vision card selection screen and filter for his main job, is actually different. So I don't know if this is a bug. Maybe it's something I missed, but it's definitely going to be something I'm going to hackle them on. Perhaps on Twitter or some other way. For Sephiroth is correct though. They kind of screwed up with Ruined Sterne's job for some reason. But anyway, that's how the new filtering works for Vision Card. Like I said, you can choose to filter by the job. You can choose to filter by sub-job as well. Basically, when you select the job here, right, it will automatically give you all the cards that will benefit this job, regardless if it's a main job or sub-job. And when you want to make it so that when you want to limit this to main job only, meaning you only want to see vision cards that affect this job, when it's the main job, you check on this box over here, and for us we don't see any changes here, but for some vision cards it actually matters whether or not you check this checkbox over here. And similarly for the bestowed effects, if you want to find a vision card that has a particular bestowed effect that only affects certain jobs, then you come over here and you do the same thing. You select the job you want to filter for, or you select the element that you want to restrict the bestowed effects to. And then I believe that's pretty much it for the filtering options. For the rest of this over here, attack type resistances, element resistances, and what is this now? Status ailment resistances. I believe these are currently in the global version of the game already. So it's really just this part that's different for vision card filtering. Now next up, we're gonna look at Esper's. Esper, you can also now filter by ability node. As you can see here, I have a certain thing turned on already. So normally, when you don't filter for your Espers, you see everything. But when you come over to the filtering options, you'll note that there is now a what is this called? This new column that allows you to select exactly what kind of ability nodes you want on the Esper. So let's say we want accuracy, right? Let's go and pick accuracy up, which is this one over here, and then you want to find a accuracy Esper with MAG up, right? And you can select one more thing as well, but we're gonna stop here. Basically, the new filtering options is going to allow you to quickly get to the Espers with the exact specific nodes you're looking for. Now, do note that they do consider any Esper with 7 accuracy up or 22 accuracy up to this system. To the filtering system, they are the exact same thing. So you can't actually filter by the amount of accuracy you get with each Esper. So like for example, Ramu over here actually gives you, I believe, 20 plus 22 accuracy, whereas some of the other Espers here only give you plus 7. But regardless, it's a quick way to see what kind of Esper you might potentially want to pair with the unit to do your resistance, your resonances for. So it can be pretty handy in that sense. And overall, I have to say the biggest change with this system, with the new UI and filtering system, is definitely the way that we select vision cards for a team now. It's going to be much easier to get to exactly the vision cards that you want. And for example, if I show you guys my guild battle team, you can see now that this is my limited one, this is the regular one. You can see quickly that it's really neat to see that you don't have any vision cards in my team here that do not actually benefit all of the party members. The only exception is this one here, which is actually the Ramza vision card. And like I said, because Ramza's vision card actually has a party effect that is generic in nature, and also a limited party effect that only affects light units, so that's why it doesn't actually show up in this indicator here. But with that said, I do find this feature super helpful, especially in terms of selecting the vision card you want. You can just quickly come over to filtering, select lightning element, and bam, you can quickly get to the one that you need for your formation. So I really like the change. Alright, so I think that's all for the filtering and UI improvements. It does seem like these changes are not that difficult to implement, are not that easy to implement in global version. So most likely, we're going to have to wait 4 months before they get carried over to global version. I don't think it's that easy to fast track it, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe they can somehow make it come to global version earlier. So that's going to be pretty much it for this video. To sort of end off the video, I'm going to do my polls for Valentine's Day. Alright, so next up, hopefully this is going to be Valentine Udira. If not, I'm just going to have to spend 18,000 free viz just to try and get her for my Fire Evade team. So let's hope that we get lucky here. It's going to be the very last slot. This is a big deal. So far, I've been pretty lucky at these level 99 banners. I got Halloween Ryu the last time from Halloween. Out of all the Halloween units, I don't have any of them, basically, so that's why I pulled on that banner. And the only one I really wanted was Halloween Ryu, and now this time the only one I want is obviously Valentine, so I hope that it's going to be her. Wait, Leonis! Alright! We hit the jackpot over here. Man, JP version has been so good to me lately. I'm so glad that I do not need to spend 18k visual to guarantee my I won't say Halloween, my Valentine Udira. This is the best Valentine's Day gift I could ever get.